Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Tennis Ace. It's your good buddy Radar. Well, in the last episode, June had a bit of an accident, and I think there might be more to it than what he's letting on. So we're going to continue on to the next chapter in this June arc. Here we go. I decided to get up a little earlier than normal to go visit June in the hospital. I feel a bit poopy from having woken up at a time I'm not used to, but I consider it a worthy sacrifice if it means I can brighten his day even just a little. What is that? Is that June? I see him walking out of the hospital with two adult tigers. Are those parents? Edison-san? Good morning. What are you doing out here? I got discharged this morning, so my parents are taking me home. Oh my, could this be Edison Carmichael? Dad, please don't stop. It is. It really is. Oh my God, when my son told me he had a friend with your name, I didn't really think it would be you, but it is. I'm your fan. Could you sign an autograph for me? I'm not a professional player yet, you know. I'm used to getting some attention because of my standing in the national junior ranking, but I've never had someone so brazenly calling attention to it before. Now, there are lots of people looking at us. Dad. Dear, I understand your enthusiasm, but you really shouldn't be so loud in the middle of the street. Jun's mother immediately censors her husband. Oh, I suppose you're right. Also, the first thing you do when meeting one of June's friends should be to introduce yourself, not ask for an autograph. Right. Wow, she really controls him quite easily. I'm Atsushi Kobayashi, June's father. It's a pleasure to meet you. And I'm Yui, June's mother. It really is good to finally meet one of June's friends. He talks so much about you. Mom. He does? Can we please talk about something less embarrassing? Oh, sweetie, are you embarrassed by us? Of course I am. Blunt. You really don't mince words sometimes. Why would I? Wait, they're smiling and laughing? I thought they'd be offended by his response, but they like it? What a weird family. By the way, Edison-san, what are you doing here? I wanted to check up on you before I went to school. Oh, thanks for worrying about me, but as you see, I'm perfectly fine now. And the wound on your head is already healed? Yep, it was a pretty minor cut, so it healed in no time. The doctor also said that there's no sign of concussion, so I'm free to go. That's great. I'm glad nothing bad happened. Mom, Dad, Edison-san was the one who found me when I collapsed and called for help. He's the reason I got treatment so fast. Oh, is that so? I didn't know that. We're really in your debt. Who knows what would have happened if you hadn't found him. Just a few more minutes and his heart might have recovered. His heart? Don't mind them. Dad thinks that just because I bled a little, my heart was going to stop beating. I already told him it wasn't nearly enough blood to cause any serious problems, but he won't listen. I don't know. It certainly looked like a lot of blood to me at the time. It really wasn't that bad. If it were, I wouldn't be getting discharged already. I guess you're right. Well, thank you very much for taking such good care of our son, Carmichael-kun. We truly are grateful for your help. What? It was nothing. I'm just happy to help him. He's a good friend. See, I told you. Edison-san is a really good person. Now, that's not really a big deal. It is to us. Either way, if you'll forgive us, we have to take June back home. Just to be careful. We'll keep him home for a few days to keep an eye on him. He should be back in school in no time, though. Mom, I already told you that's unnecessary. You can't fault your mother for worrying, June. I guess not. I'll see you later, Edison-san. Thank you for dropping by to visit me. Of course. I'll see ya. Why do I still have this awful feeling in my chest? Today, I've been called here to this cafe by a friend. He's noticed how stressed I've been lately and decided to try and help me de-stress. I have to say, I truly appreciate the thought. We've only been here for a little while, and I have to say that I definitely feel better. Who knew talking could be so therapeutic? Edison, are you even paying attention to what I'm saying? Oh, sorry, what? Jeez, here you go spacing out again. It's like you were 1,000 miles away. Sorry. I guess I was a little lost in thought. No kidding. Yes, Shoichi is the one that invited me here. He called me early this morning and asked me if I'd like to meet him here for lunch. I was a little skeptical of the idea, but now I'm glad that I came. Okay, I'm back now. What were you saying again? Are you sure? I don't really feel like talking to a wall again. It's not going to happen again, I swear. If you say so, then I guess it's okay. Anyway, I was asking how your class preparations for the festival were going. It's already right around the corner. It was kind of a mess at first. No one could really agree on anything. In the end, everyone decided to open a little restaurant. Gen insisted on the idea, and since we had nothing better planned, we went with it. What kind of food will you guys be serving? I think it was supposed to be Szechuan cuisine, but I don't remember now. I just know it was supposed to be a traditional Chinese food. You'll have to ask Gen if you want more details. If it's him, then I'm sure it'll be okay. That guy's knowledge of food can put critics to shame. He certainly is no regular glutton. Calling him a glutton is a little insensitive, though. Oh, come on, it's not like he's here to hear it. You really can be mean when people aren't listening, huh? What? I'm not mean. Don't worry, I'm just yanking your chain. Is that so? I can't even tell anymore. Since you guys will be working on a restaurant, does that mean I'll get to see you in an apron? In your dreams. I bailed on it as fast as I could. I'm helping with the decor, organization, and shopping. That's it. Ah, must you trample on my dreams like that? Don't give me the puppy dog eyes now. Busted, huh? With a lighthearted conversation like this, it's hard to believe the kinds of things that have been happening lately. In fact, just thinking about it already gives me a sinking feeling in my chest. But I promised Shoichi that we'd have some fun today, so I don't want to let anything get in the way. Welcome, sir. We're full at the moment, but if you'll be patient, a table should clear out for you in just a few minutes. Since we're so close to the entrance, it's hard not to hear when someone walks in. By the way, hey, aren't you? You are. You're the guy that was with Kobayashi back at the piano competition. This lion walks right up to us, interrupting our conversation. You know this guy, Edison? Well, yep. Yeah, I met him when June and I were waiting for you guys back at the piano competition. Come to think of it, he even talked to us after the competition was over, and I'm pretty sure you were with us, don't you remember? You really expect me to remember someone I saw once over a month ago? If anything, I'm surprised you'd remember. My memory isn't that bad. You don't need to be surprised. The lion looks between the two of us with a smile on his face. Your name, Akutagawa, right? Sorry if I got it wrong. I'm not really good with names. It's alright. And you remembered it correctly. To be honest, I never introduced myself when we met, so you even knowing my name at all is already surprising. It's hard to forget a guy who delivers a full-blown villain speech in broad daylight. Full-blown villain speech? I will make sure the name Shinji Akutagawa is one you'll never forget. It was something like that. Huh? You remember that? No, forget it. Forget it right this instant.
Oh, no way. He really said that?
Shut up! Just forget I ever said anything like that. Sorry. Asking me to forget that scene is a little... I don't want to say the word impossible, but no better word comes to mind. Ugh.
Well, either way, it's good to meet an acquaintance of June's. My name is Shoichi Hirata. We go to the same school.
And I'm Edison Carmichael. I sit next to June in class. It's a pleasure to meet you. To be honest, I didn't know Kobayashi had any friends outside of the competitors we knew as children.
Why is that?
Well, I might be a bit biased since I never got to see how he acted out of the competitions, but he was always very focused and withdrawn. He didn't goof around much like the rest of us did. I certainly expect to see a bunch of children goofing off, even if they're facing against each other in a competition. It's not that different from the tennis tournaments in that sense. The children's tournaments are a lot more relaxed. Right, but he never really mingled with us, so I just thought he wasn't the type of person to have any friends.
That doesn't sound at all like the June we know.
Yeah, saying that he's a goofball would probably be putting it lightly.
True.
By the way, isn't he with you guys right now?
Nah, he's on bed rest right now. He was actually in the hospital up until a few days ago.
The lion's eyes immediately go wide in shock. What? No way. Don't tell me it happened again.
Again? What happened again? Did something happen to him before?
As soon as he sees the look on my face, Akutagawa looks away from me. It's nothing. Forget I said any...
Forget you said anything? It's a little late for that, isn't it? What are you talking about? Edison, that's enough.
What do you mean that's enough?
Aren't you the least bit curious about this? He basically said that June was in the hospital before, too. We all know Kobayashi has a frail health. Would it really be all that surprising for him to have visited a doctor before?
Don't play that game with me.
We both know when someone sees that a person was in the hospital, that means they were admitted to it, not just getting a checkup. Even so, whether that's true or not, don't you think that's up to June to tell us? You shouldn't go prying into other people's pasts.
But that bad feeling I've been having up until now returns with force. Akutagawa-san, won't you please tell me what you meant by that again comment? It's really not my place.
So you're saying he was admitted to a hospital once before? Edison! There are people staring at us, man. Let it go already.
When I look around us, I see the people in the other surrounding tables all staring at us. Crap.
You really don't think sometimes.
How am I supposed to think? So June has been in a hospital before? Now I have a ton of questions swimming in my mind. I'm sorry, I really shouldn't have said anything.
Don't worry about it, you didn't know.
Why was he admitted to the hospital, if you don't mind telling me?
He tripped during practice and hit his head on the corner of a piano. There was a little bleeding, but it wasn't all that serious. He was in and out of the hospital in a very little time.
Ah, I see.
Sir, we have a table open for you now.
One of the staff members calls out to Akutagawa. Oh, thank you very much. I'll be right there. The lion turns to us again. Do tell Kobayashi that I send him my best regards and hope he'll be well, okay?
Of course.
Once Akutagawa leaves, the two of us fall completely silent.
I can see the gears in your head turning, you know. Silence, huh? I guess your good mood is ruined no matter how I look at it, right?
Sorry.
It's okay. There's nothing wrong with being worried about a friend. In fact, it's a good thing. Just make sure you don't let it completely eat you up from the inside. Well, we've already finished eating anyway. Would you like to just call it quits early and head home? You'd be okay with that? What the hell do you take me for? You think I'd be mad if you weren't feeling up to it anymore? I'm more worried about how you feel than about a little failed hangout. I see. Then I guess I'm gonna head home after all. Alright. Let me just get the check so we can be on our way. We walk out into the streets. The crowd that comes with rush hour had just begun to die down, but it was still full on people everywhere. Well, I guess I'm going to take this opportunity to go grocery shopping. I have to start stocking on the foods my dad likes to eat now after all. Sorry for cutting our time together short. Don't be ridiculous. I'm the one who offered it. Tell June I said hi, okay? Huh? You heard what I said. See ya. So he knew I wanted to go see June, huh? He could have just said so from the start. Idiot. It might be bad for me just to show up to ask him stuff from his past out of the blue. Maybe I should bring some sort of gift with me? Great. Now I started talking to myself. June, darling, you have a visitor.
A visitor? Edison-san?
Hey,
What are you doing here?
what? Can I want to check up on a friend?
You can, but that's the kind of thing you usually warn people beforehand.
Sorry, am I getting in the way of something?
No, of course not. I'm just surprised you dropped by, that's all.
Ah, I see.
Are you alright?
Of course I'm alright. Why do you ask?
I guess. I just got a feeling.
A feeling?
Yeah, what with you showing up all of a sudden and looking a bit down, I just got the feeling that something was up.
He really is more perceptive than I give him credit for. It's alright. You don't have to worry about me.
If you say so. Well, since you're already here, why don't we sit down and chat for a bit? What's the plastic bag you got with you?
Oh, right. Here, I bought these for you. It's some of your favorite sweets and a few savory snacks.
Oh, I see. You bought me more stuff.
What's with the face that says you don't like what you see?
No, it's not that. It's just, you've been doing so much for me lately, it makes me feel guilty.
Guilty? Why would it make you feel guilty?
I mean, I can't really do anything for you in return, right? I don't really have money to spare, so I can't buy you your favorite snacks or give you a present like that keychain. Even if it's something cheap, I still can't do it.
Who says you have to give me anything in return?
Huh?
I'm just doing this because I want to. Don't think too much about it.
Edison-san, you're kind of cute when you're embarrassed.
Just shut up and take the bag already.
Okay. Oh, cheese crackers.
Yeah, I just picked them up at the grocery store on a whim. You like them?
Yeah, I love cheese almost as much as I love sweets.
That's great then. June puts the bag on top of his desk, tucking it away in a corner. You're not going to eat it?
Not while I have a guest over. That'd be impolite.
I never took you for the kind of person to worry about politeness.
Seriously, what kind of person do you take me for?
An adorable airhead with questionable common sense? Wait, did I just call another guy adorable? Oh, never mind.
You just thought of something bad, didn't you?
No way!
Well, never mind. What would you like to do?
Quick to switch gears as always. I swear, sometimes the things he says aren't good for my heart. Let me recompose myself for a bit.
Huh? Recompose yourself? What do you mean?
Not everyone is as quick to switch gears like you know.
Switch gears?
He's hopeless, and I don't know why I'm surprised. By the way, what have you been doing for the past few days that you've been cooped up here?
Well, I haven't been allowed to touch the piano, so I've just...
Wait, you can't play the piano. Why? What would be the problem with that?
Oh, I guess they just don't want me to move around too much.
He's a terrible liar. But the question is, even if I knew he was lying, should I let him know that I know? There is no telling how he might react if I ask for clarification. Well, we'll let it go for now. No, as much as I want to know what's going on, I also remember how angry he can get when he's pushed. Shuichi said it himself, I shouldn't pry too much. Ugh, being reasonable sucks. Well, I guess that's kind of a valid reason. It really isn't.
Yeah, it's a bit unreasonable, isn't it?
If you haven't been able to play the piano, what have you been up to recently?
Mostly just playing games and doing some light reading. Sora-kun actually loaned me a couple of games before I got discharged from the hospital, so I've at least had something to do. Other than that, Ayako-san has been dropping by some notes and the homework I need to keep up with our classes. What's with that surprised look on your face?
No, it's nothing. I totally forgot to take notes for him. That's something I could have been doing to help. Sorry.
Huh? What for?
For being an idiot? Never mind that. What kinds of games have you been playing?
Well, Sora-kun brought me a lot of stuff to play with. Other than the occasional sports title, it was mostly fantasy games and RPGs.
Oh, that's right. That's right up your alley, then.
Yup. I've only tried 2 so far because, well, RPGs aren't the kind of game you can clear that quickly. Still, I've been having a lot of fun.
Any titles I might know?
Well, they're both games from the NinMax 2S Portable. Do you have it?
No. I went with Sinbin's PBS when I picked the last generation of portables. Isn't it cross-platform compatible?
These two aren't.
Well, bummer, I guess. Still, I'm glad you've at least been having fun.
Thank you.
Oh, I just remembered. Shoichi asked me to say hi to you.
Is that so? How is Shoichi-san doing?
A bit stressed from working on the school festival, but otherwise pretty okay. We actually got together this morning and went to a cafe.
Sounds fun. I wish I could have been there. Wait, if Shoichi-san was with you, then why didn't he come over too?
He had other things he needed to get done. If I remember correctly, he said he needed to go grocery shopping to pick up the things his father likes.
Oh yeah, he did mention his dad was coming back home.
He even asked for my help organizing a welcome home party, but that idea was a bust.
How come?
I couldn't convince him not to cook.
Oh.
Those poor guests, they never even saw it coming. Let us not speak further of the dead. There is nothing we can do to bring them back.
Edison-san, I know you're kidding, but you're kinda scaring me.
Is that so? Sorry, I guess I got a little too into the joke.
Still, I imagine that party can't have been pleasant.
I'm still surprised Takahiko-san didn't yell at him or anything. I guess the shock was too great.
Maybe he just didn't want to hurt Shuichi's feelings?
Shuichi gave an entire room full of people food poisoning. Pretty sure he was past the point of caring about feelings.
Ugh.
It's a good thing Shuichi's sister showed up. She managed to get him out of the house before the disaster rolled out, so he didn't get to see it.
Wait, so Shuichi-san doesn't know what happened?
Nope. Hidoka sent him shopping for last-minute preparations, and all the guests left before he got back. She then threatened me so I wouldn't tell Shuichi.
I'm not sure if I should call him lucky or not.
He's lucky. It's the people eating his food that aren't.
Right. Did I miss anything else for the days I've been absent? What about Keisuke-san or Misugichi-san?
There's not much to tell. Saya's been taking more shifts than usual to save up for a new phone. As for Keisuke, all I know is that he's been spending more time with that band he joined. Since there are no tennis club practices for a while yet, I haven't seen much of him.
That's kind of sad.
We're not his only friends, after all. Plus, we want to avoid scheduling any group hangouts until you're back on your feet and you can come with us.
What? I really appreciate the thought, but you guys don't have to stop having fun just because I'm not around.
Don't be ridiculous. How many times do I have to tell you you're a member of this group? The fun is having everyone hanging out together. So now he's blushing. Looks like someone's happy to hear that.
I didn't say anything.
You didn't have to. One look on your face was enough to tell me what you were feeling.
Am I that obvious?
To say you wear your emotions on your sleeve would be an understatement.
Ugh.
It's not a bad thing. You're easy to talk to because of it.
Really?
Of course. It also makes teasing you a lot more fun, but I'm not gonna bring that up. It really makes what the guy said sound really strange when I think about it.
What guy?
Oh, nothing. Just thinking out loud. Wait, why am I even hiding this? What would be the harm in telling him if we met at Kutagawa anyway? Well, actually, Shuichi and I met someone at the cafe, and he kind of told us about your past.
What? Who? What did he say?
Shinji Kutagawa, the lion guy from your competition.
What? Really?
Yeah, he told us you used to be really withdrawn as a kid. So much so he didn't even think you had friends at all. I just thought that description really didn't sound like you.
It's kinda true.
Really?
Yeah. At least where the competitions were concerned. I never really talked to the other kids. I used to be really competitive when I was a kid, so I refused to mingle with the competition. Pretty petty, huh?
I would have never guessed.
Everyone has a past, after all. Plus, it's been over 7 years since that time, and I was a kid. Of course, I matured a lot since then.
You did?
Why do you sound so surprised?
Me? Surprised? You must be imagining things. Crap, I just blurted out what came to my mind without thinking. Well, the important thing is that you're a different person now, and you can get along with the other competitors now, right?
I'm not letting that little comment go that easily. Ugh.
I think I'm in need of rescuing just about now. Letting what go? I have no idea what you're talking about. Stop glaring at me like that. I got the message. Sorry. Shun, sweetie, I'm coming in. Saved by the gong. Or in this case, Shun's mother. Do you boys want to have a snack? I baked some cookies. Mom, you need to fret so much just because there's someone over. Oh, don't be such a stick in the mud. You have so few friends. Of course I'm going to treat them with the utmost care.
Ugh. Thanks for the vote of confidence.
Ooh, cookies sound great, Kobayashi-san. Please don't leave me alone with him until he forgets what just happened. Of course it sounds great. It's cookies. Why don't you boys come to the living room and I'll bring them to you? Sure. I have to admit, I never thought your mom would be the stereotype I made cookies for you kids type. She just likes playing host to other people. We used to have visitors and dinner parties all the time when I was younger. You don't anymore? Not since Mom started working 2 jobs. With Dad picking up more shifts and Mom having to get a second job, they barely have any free time anymore. She just took a week off to keep an eye on me. Why do your parents need to work so much? Do you guys have that many expenses? I really shouldn't be talking about my parents' financial situation. Sorry. Something's weird here. Can't imagine a small family like this living in a small house could accrue enough expenses to warrant that much work. My mom might have had a better average job, but she's still capable of supporting Aki and me without working herself to death. Well, she still works herself to death, but that's because she likes her job. She could also take things easy, and she would still earn enough to support us. Isn't your father a cop? I thought cops made good money.
Like I said, I shouldn't be talking about their money situation. And besides that, my dad is just a low-ranking patrolman. The pay isn't all that great. Wait, how did you know my dad was a cop?
He was wearing his police cap when he picked you up from the hospital?
Oh, right. He's not supposed to wear it outside when he's off shift, but he tends to forget it's on.
How can you forget that you have a cap on? Actually, never mind. This is the Kobayashi family I'm talking about. If they're anything like their son, it is entirely believable. Well, his mom doesn't seem that bad, at least.
Either way, we should probably go outside already before Mom comes to fetch us. Trust me, you don't want to annoy her.
Considering all the scary women I already have in my life, I can't even muster a look of surprise to this statement. Sometimes when I think of how Saya pretty much bosses all of us around, I start wondering whether we're all just beta males. Ugh, that thought just sends chills down my spine. I don't want to be a bunny's little toy. We'll sit in the living room table, directly across from each other. I have to admit, even though this house is small, it's very cozy. For some reason, I feel right at home here. That's not something I've ever been able to say about any place other than my own home.
By the way, Edison-san, you're telling me about how you ran into Kotagawa-kun before?
Oh god, I thought he'd forgotten about it already. Is he still mad at me for that unfortunate comment? Yeah, I was. What about it?
Did he say anything else about me? I mean,
why do you ask?
You're the one who brought it up. Brought up the fact that you bumped into him today in the first place. Of course I'm going to ask about it.
I guess that's true. Man, I'm not used to seeing him looking so annoyed at me. It somehow feels 10 times worse than having someone like Saya upset. Probably because I'm already used to seeing her upset. We didn't really talk for long, you know. He just bumped into us while he was waiting for a table at the cafe. It was less than 5 minutes.
He still had time to tell you about me not getting along with the other kids in that time.
I suppose that's true, too.
Alright, sorry it took me a while. I had some trouble getting these out of the baking tray. Did you forget to line it with parchment paper again?
Oh, I didn't forget. We just ran out.
Oh, not again.
Again?
We seem to run through rolls of parchment paper like they're candy.
I suppose it's my fault. I'm always baking whenever I'm home. It helps me to relax.
It's also the reason why we've gained so much weight these past few years.
I understand that your parents might not have much time, but what's your excuse for not trying to exercise then?
Well, that's... Didn't you tell you? I really hate exercising. Yeah, I already told him that. I just hate feeling sweaty and all that.
Jun's mom stares at him with wide-open eyes. However, as quickly as her shock came, she flashed us another smile.
Yes, I suppose you would have told him already then. Would you boys like something to drink? Milk? Maybe some tea? Edison-san hates tea.
It's true. I really do.
Oh no, not another tea hater. That sushi is already a handful. That's because Dad is really whiny about it.
Whiny?
Oh yeah. Whenever Mom brews some tea, he starts complaining about how awful the house smells and how it makes him feel sick. He really sounds like a little kid throwing a tantrum.
Similarities are uncanny. You shouldn't laugh about that. You're so much like your father in many ways, you know.
Oh, please don't say that. I don't complain nearly as much as he does.
Your father didn't used to complain as much as he does now either.
It comes with age, darling. You're so much like your father when he was your age. It's a bit scary. No, anything but that.
Oh, come on. You don't want to grow up to be like your father?
Oh, God, no. He has no common sense. He does so many embarrassing things when we're out in public.
And the similarities continue to pile up. Jun's mom shoots him a knowing, amused glance, almost as if she could read my mind. I guess she really knows him even better than he knows himself, huh? Well, in that case, should I just bring you boys some milk?
Of course, milk and cookies are a match made in heaven.
Well, I don't think that I would go that far, but I wouldn't say no to that. Something like something to drink. Sorry to inconvenience you out of the blue, ma'am. Oh, don't be silly. I love having people over. Not to mention how happy it makes me to have June's friends come to visit him. I was starting to worry that he had no real friends since no one had dropped by these past few days.
Mom, I already told you, it's nothing serious. They have no reason to come here. Actually, I told them not to come here myself.
It's true, he really did tell us that we didn't need to come. Well, that is no way to treat your friends. If they're worried about you, then they have every right to visit. It's only natural.
Yeah, whatever you say.
I don't really know much about this woman, but damn, I like her already. I will be right back. Is something wrong?
Huh? No. Yeah, I was just thinking some stuff over.
Are you thinking about what your mom said about you not wanting us to visit?
Kinda. I didn't want to be a bother to anyone, that's why I said that. I didn't even realize that me not having visitors was upsetting her.
Of course it would be. What else could she think when her son has been on bed rest for days and no one bothered to drop by to see him?
I guess you're right.
You don't guess I'm right. I am right.
Yeah, don't get cocky.
Still, your mom is pretty nice. You never really talked much about your parents, so I didn't really know what to expect.
She's really nice. She can also be strict at times, and boy, she's scary when she's angry. But most of the time, she's really sweet.
It's a pretty neat change of pace. I'm not really used to talking to many parents.
How come?
Well, my mom is always working too. She's the kind of person that you call in love with the job. I haven't talked to Shoichi's mom since his parents split up years and years ago, and well, Keisuke's entire family is kind of an unknown. I suppose I've talked to Saya's parents quite a few times. They're mostly normal people. None of them has their daughter's temper, at least.
Misaguchi-san really is scary sometimes, isn't she?
Yeah, tell me about it.
Now that you mention it, I don't think I've ever met your mom either. Actually, I don't think I've ever been close enough friends with anyone to meet their parents.
Really? Even when you were a kid?
I told you, I wasn't the most sociable person. I had a few kids I was friendly with. Most of them were my classmates, but I was never the type to go out and play with and whatnot. I guess I'm also the kind of person you could call in love with the job. Although in my case, piano isn't really a job.
It can be with your skills. I'm sure you could do it.
If only that were true.
Can't quite put my finger on it, but I'm getting this weird vibe from June today. Is everything okay with you? For real? We haven't really talked in a couple days outside of trading a few messages, at least.
Yeah, I'm fine. I just hate being cooped up in here for so long. It's almost worse than the hospital.
How come? I thought you'd feel better if you got to rest at home.
It makes me feel like an invalid. Just because of a tiny little problem, everyone is suddenly treating me like I'm made of glass. Of course, the fault is mostly with my parents, but is it so bad not wanting to be treated differently?
I never really noticed he'd been thinking things like that. I suppose it's not the kind of thing one can notice just by looking, but still. I hope I haven't been guilty of the same.
A bit. Mostly you've just been pampering me a lot. Lots of presents and snacks, and you might not notice it, but you're also being more soft-spoken around me.
I'm sorry, I thought you'd like the presents.
Don't get me wrong, I love them. Especially the keychain. It's one of my most prized possessions now, since it's the first real gift I've ever gotten from a friend, even if you say it was just a cheap afterthought. But at the same time, I don't know. I might just be weird. I'm not even really sure how I feel about it. I really like it, but I also feel really bad about it. I'm a mess.
Sorry, I'll try to rein it in a little.
It's okay. This isn't your problem. It's my own awkwardness at fault. I'm just not good at depending on other people. I always feel like such a burden when others go out of their way for me, even though I know they're doing it because they want to, and it makes them happy to care for me. Like I said, I really am a mess. Being cooped up inside this house with no one to really talk to just makes me mull over those thoughts again and again. It's not healthy.
Is it your mother here? Can't you talk to her?
I can't talk to her about this. I just go add to the issues she has to deal with. I don't want to put another burden on her.
I think you're being too self-conscious here. She's your mother. I'm sure she'd want to do whatever makes you feel more at ease.
That's kind of what scares me. You don't know how far my parents would go to do that.
I guess I'll concede to that point.
But, like I said, I'm really grateful for everything you guys have been doing for me. You're all so nice and caring, it kind of makes me feel all warm and fuzzy on the inside. Just don't tell anyone I said that.
Oh, for sure. If Keisuke and Shuichi ever heard that line, there'd be no end to the teasing.
Just thinking about it already makes my skin crawl.
At least he seems like he's cheered up a little. Do you feel better being able to talk about your feelings more openly?
Yeah, I feel a bit silly for talking about all this mushy stuff to you, but I really feel like I can trust you enough for that.
Of course you can. We're friends, aren't we?
Yeah, just friends.
What was that?
Oh, nothing. I just agreed with you.
By the way, where's your mom? Didn't she just go to the kitchen to grab milk?
Oh, I have an idea where she might be.
Huh?
Look at the cookie plate. There's 6.
So?
She always makes 12.
Okay, and?
Just take a good look at her lips when she comes back and you'll see.
Huh?
Sorry I took so long. I kinda lost track of time.
Yui-san comes back with 2 glasses of milk for us, setting them down in front of us and taking another seat. You didn't get any for yourself, ma'am?
Oh no, don't be silly. I'm not going to eat the cookies. I'm on a diet.
Shun lightly taps my foot from under the table, shooting me a weird look. I decide to do as he says and try focusing my eyes on his mom's face and... Sit.
She has a few cookie crumbs stuck to the fur around her mouth.
She didn't do what I think she did she?
Sure you are, Mom. And I have to say, that diet really seems to be working. I can see the difference already.
Really? Oh, I'm so glad. I thought I noticed some slimming too, but I wasn't too sure and I didn't want to assume. Maybe it would just be my brain playing tricks on me.
That's so true.
Eventually, Yui-san excuses herself, claiming that she has to do some more housekeeping, leaving Jun and I to return to his bedroom. She wasn't really eating cookies in secret, was she?
Yes, she was. It's pretty much taboo for Dad and I to mention this kind of thing, so we just play dumb and tell her she's been losing weight whenever she starts on another one of her diets. Mom tends to get too excited about all these new diet fads, but she can't stick to them for more than a few days before she cracks. She still pretends to be doing them while she eats sweets in secret, though.
I guess everyone in your family has a big sweet tooth, huh?
That's an understatement.
Having seen him attack a box of Japanese sweets, I can also agree with that assessment.
Actually, now that you mention sweets, how are the preparations for the school festival going?
What, if anything, does that school festival have to deal with sweets?
Oh. Sorry. It's just that when you said sweets, it reminded me of Yayako-san. Then when I thought about her, it reminded me of school, which reminded me of school festival.
Your train of thought is all over the place.
I like to think outside the box.
I don't think there's even a box to begin with when it comes to you. But to answer your question, the preparations are going fine. Our class is mostly finished.
That's great. What have you been put in charge of?
I'm not in charge of anything. I'm just helping out with the decorations, the shopping, etc.
Since Ayaka-san told me the class would be opening a restaurant, I thought you'd be cooking.
God, no. I like cooking for myself and for friends, but there's absolutely no way I'd cook for a huge crowd. Really? I thought you'd jump at the opportunity. The only thing that could make me jump at the opportunity of cooking for that many people would be if the alternative were to have Shoichi cook. That's a very scary alternative. One that sadly did happen. Those poor guests. Did the rep talk to you about what you might end up doing for the festival?
A bit. She offered to let me give a hand with the organization.
Maybe that means we get to work together.
I turned her down, though.
Why?
My last school didn't do a festival, so I was really looking forward to doing something more involved. I was thinking of asking to work as a waiter for the restaurant.
Those poor guests. Are you sure that's the best idea for you? You'll be running up and down carrying a ton of plates of hot food for most of the nights.
Doesn't it sound like fun?
I can already imagine the chaos. Forgotten orders, spilled drinks, dropped plates. Our classless restaurant will be a bust, won't it?
Too bad you won't be working at the nights of the festival, though.
I want to actually enjoy the festival, go around to the stalls and check everything out. I don't want to be cooped up working all night.
Shifts exist, you know. You'd probably only work for one of those days.
Nope. I don't want to lose even a single day. The school festival is great for relaxing and having fun. There's no way I'm going to spend it working.
Ah, you're such a special snowflake.
What?
Nothing.
You might act innocent, but at this point it's pretty obvious that you're not.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Sure you don't. Beware the quiet ones, that's all I have to say. Either way, we should all try to get at least one free day to hang around together.
That might be a bit difficult. The 5 of us are distributed across 3 different classrooms, so it'd be pretty difficult to get our schedules to sync up.
Speak for yourself, I'm free as a bird.
That's because you're lazy.
Potato, potato.
Whatever. Hey, if the theme for the restaurant is Chinese, does that mean we'll get Chinese-styled uniforms?
The girls will probably wear Chinese dresses. I have no idea what the guys will be wearing, though. Is there even a male alternative to that?
I don't know of any. I wonder if I'd look like a kung fu master with a waiter uniform.
It's a waiter uniform, not a kung fu gi.
Would a kung fu gi even be called a gi in China?
Of course not. That's a Japanese word. Why would they use it in China?
Well, what's it called then?
I have no idea.
Then you can't say for sure it's not called a gi, can you?
I see where you're going with your logic, but that doesn't make it right.
Why not?
Because they don't speak Japanese in China.
How do you know? Have you ever been to China?
This whole discussion was just you messing with me, wasn't it?
What was your first clue? Felines.
Will your parents show up for the festival?
They said they wanted to, but I wouldn't count on it. They're always so busy, especially Dad.
Well, I'd imagine a cop is pretty busy most of the time.
Yeah, it's really sad how little free time they have. It really makes me feel bad.
Hey, it's not like it's your fault.
Right.
I wonder what I'm going to be doing for the first day of the festival. They haven't released the class plans yet, so I don't know what kind of stalls will be open.
Do you really have to plan this kind of thing in advance?
Of course. That's the only way to maximize the amount of stalls visited in the smallest amount of time.
Just sounds like a big waste of brain energy.
Brain energy?
You know, thinking power.
Thinking power? Are you sure you're really in 19?
Shoot.
Don't waste those precious neurons.
Huh?
Exactly. In other news, I heard Kay's band is planning to perform at the festival this year.
Oh, that's exciting. Will he be on stage?
Nah, he's just the manager.
How come? He's a really good singer.
I asked the same thing, but he didn't care to answer.
He really sells himself short sometimes, huh?
Agreed. I have to admit, it'd be pretty cool to see him singing with a band.
Yeah, it would. I'm sure he'd wow any audience with his voice.
I just wish he could have had a little more confidence in himself. No matter how much we say we like his voice, he just doesn't seem to believe it. I'm tempted to call him humble, but he's a little too extreme about it. He's like that about everything. Tennis, grades, singing. No matter how good he is, it's never enough. It's a bit annoying, to be honest. Well, don't let it get to you. Everyone has their quirks. Said the quirkiest person I know. I wish I had a good singing voice. You can already play the piano super well. Why would you need to sing? Yeah, but people don't care about the piano as much as they care about good singers. After all, the piano is something anyone can learn with enough patience and practice. Your voice is something you're born with. You can still improve your voice. Well, yeah, sure you can, but a person that was born with an average voice can only take it so far. You'll never be truly great unless you were born great. He's really lucky in that sense. His voice is really amazing. Could it be that the happy-go-lucky tiger is jealous of someone for once? For once? I'm jealous of lots of people. I'm no saint. I'm jealous of your athleticism, for instance. That is also something you can improve on with practice. You'd think so, but that's not always the case. Why not? Let's just say that I'm not cut out for sports and leave it at that. I don't know, you can just say something so vague and that... I said we'll leave it at that! Sir? Jeez, what did I do to take him off this time? I guess he wasn't kidding when he said being cooped up here was stressful. So... Do you have any plans for what you're going to do after your parents allow you to leave the house tomorrow? Just the same as always, school and practice. Oh, and speaking of school... Yeah? You know how I said that Ayako-san has been dropping by notes for me? I do. What about it? Well, she's also been dropping some homework by, and, well, I kinda haven't done it. Any of it. Aren't you going to react to that at all? Why would I? I could see this punchline coming from a mile away. You could? Of course. I'd never expect you to do your homework out of your own volition. Ugh. You really have no faith in me, do you? Knowing you and not having faith in you are two different things. Doesn't sound all that different to me. Well, anyway, could I ask you to help me with it? Sure, no problem. Wait, really? You will? Why are you so surprised? I've already been helping you study anyway. How would this be any different? Well, when you put it that way, I guess it really isn't. Well, it might be different in the same sense that it'll be much easier. Trying to get you to remember stuff is definitely a Herculean task. I don't know the meaning of the word Herculean, but I'm just going to assume that was an insult. More like a friendly quip. Whatever. As long as you help me with my homework, you can joke as much as you like. Oh, really? As much as I like, you say? Maybe not as much as you'd like. Alright. Just give me your books and I'll help you. But I absolutely won't do it for you. Be aware of that. Well, depending on how big the pile is, it might be a bit more generous with information. So we'll move through it faster. Yay! So easy to please. Okay, guys. We're going to leave it at that, I think. Yeah, we're going to leave it at that, because we still got a little bit more to go, I believe. So we're going to save right here. And, yeah. Well, that was fun. If you guys enjoyed the episode, like what you saw, have any comments, questions, what have you, be sure to let me know. So until next time, this has been Radar. Y'all be good, stay safe, and I will be seeing you. Bye, guys.